My name is Jeff. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to turn 53 years old. And I told it to someone today, and they said that I looked a bit younger. They thought I had good skin. I'll share with you a skin tip. I've been doing this for years. The very first thing I do, the minute I get out of bed, every day, is I have kids. Very first thing. You gotta do it every day. It's a regimen, really. One day, one kid, your face is fucked. I'm telling you. When you get to be 53 or around 53, you start traveling with some pretty embarrassing stuff. I recently got caught at the airport by a TSA agent because in my bag he found my apricot facial scrub. Yes, it was St. Ives. The patron saint of pimples. Yes, it was him. And let me tell you something. As a man, the only thing more emasculating than traveling with apricot facial scrub is having another man take it away from you. I was like, what do you think I'm gonna do? Exfoliate the plane to death? Let me have my scrub! I was like, you can't have it. And I was begging him. He's like, sir, you're acting like a child. How old are you? I said, oh, I'm 52. He said, oh, you don't look 52. I said, because you use a scrub! I'm scrubless. I see younger people in the audience here. You guys ever pirate music? Round them up, boys! What'd you use? Napster, LimeWire? Right? I'm old enough to remember when pirating music was just called shoplifting. I used to walk out of record stores with full vinyl records down my pants and just walk out. I got caught shoplifting once. I got caught shoplifting. The AC goes out for this, great. It needs a hum, it really needs a hum. I got caught shoplifting Paul Simon's Negotiation and Love Songs on cassette. You don't want to go to prison for that. What are you in for? I really love Bridge Over Troubled Water. Please remove yourself from inside me, please. And when you get caught shoplifting at this record store, they take you in the basement, they fill out a report, and they take your picture. And I begged the security guard to write down that instead I was stealing Nirvana. And he said, why? And I said, I might want to run for office one day. You know? He said, but you're still stealing. I said, I know the political future of this country. You can steal and win as long as you look like a badass doing it. 52. So I have a different memory of American history. Does anybody here remember George W. Bush? So I'm old enough to remember him as a war criminal. But he's been rebranded as a painter. He's now painting, and now he hangs out with Michelle Obama, everybody's friends, you know. Man. He put out a whole series of oil portraits of immigrants. A lot of them were blurry because they were running, but still very nice. Of course, George Bush worked in oils, right? Of course. And all my liberal friends used to say, George Bush is a war criminal. Now they're like, oh, I find his water colors quite soothing. What would Donald Trump have to do? Artistically. For the left to embrace him. He'd have to come out as Banksy, right? It was me the whole time. Could you imagine an elderly Donald Trump painting portraits of like porn stars? Like some perverted Bob Ross? There are no mistakes. If you make a mistake, just make it a pussy. There's no mistakes, just happy pussies. Personal. I'm bisexual. I like men and boys. I am bisexual. Not little boys. Frat boys. It's weird to me that frats are so historically homophobic, because I think gays were the first fraternity. A group of men bound together by a secret. I met a frat boy recently, and he said to me, it's a real shame that you gay guys can't kiss when you have sex. I was like, is that a new county ordinance? What happened? He's like, nah, man, because you guys do it from behind. I said, we can do it missionary style. He was shocked. I said, dude, haven't you seen gay porn? He's like, no, bro, I don't watch gay porn, man. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but like, by accident. Haven't you seen some gay porn by accident? He's like, no, dude, not by accident. I don't buy that. You order enough onion rings, you're gonna get a French fry in there sometimes. But like I said, I'm about to be 53, so I grew up during a time when I was told it was terrible to be gay, and I internalized that. And all the sex that I wanted to have, all the gay sex, I had to do on the down low and be secret about it. You know, and I have a lot of shame connected to sex. And you know, now we encourage everyone to be proud. We're in gay pride, right? Gay pride, right? That's great. Great. But if you take away the shame, I have nothing. Shame fueled all the erections for like 2 decades. That's a hard pivot, you know? And my therapist, she was like, well, why don't we move you into acceptance and out of shame? And I said, don't shame me. That's my kink, I need that, let me have that. It's bad, man, internalized homophobia. I'm not proud of it, but like if I'm on Tinder and I see a guy with like a gay pride flag in his house, I swipe left now. But really, any flag inside your house, I'm gonna swipe left now. The American flag outside your house, totally cool. You bring that shit inside the house, that's a level of patriotism I'm not cool with. I don't want to say the Pledge of Allegiance in your bedroom. It would be wrong, I'd be in half-mast. It would be wrong. Internalized homophobia, it's bad, man. Like, I'm very, very good at sucking dick. But sometimes I'll use my teeth just so I seem like a straight guy who doesn't know what he's doing. I don't want to seem like a faggot, you know? I've got balls on my chin. So I'm originally from Brooklyn. I live in Chattanooga now. I'm originally from Brooklyn, and I was there when the pandemic first broke out, and I was on Grindr. If you don't know what Grindr is, you're lying. But if you don't know what it is, it's a gay networking app. It's the gay LinkedIn. Only everyone's getting a very different type of job. And it's, so usually on Grindr, there's a grid of photos of the men who are closest to you. But in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, when the pandemic hit, the grid went to a bunch of blank faces. Because it was straight guys who didn't have girlfriends who couldn't get a blowjob during a pandemic. It was prison rules. Because what normal woman's gonna go out and suck some strange guy's dick during a pandemic? No. But I would. I was a first responder. An essential worker. A hero! I'm a fucking hero! You're welcome for my service, yes. I was recently in Alaska, it's pretty beautiful, I was really lucky to go, and I went on a nature tour, and I learned that because of climate change and global warming, for the first time in history, polar bears are now mating with brown bears. So this has never happened before, and I was like, brown bears and white bears have been mating in the gay community for a long time. We're ahead of the curve. I met a woman in Alaska who taught herself how to play the cello from watching YouTube videos. Which is crazy to me, because I've watched hundreds of hours of YouTube videos to teach myself how to fold a fitted sheet. And I could sooner fold a cello than a fitted sheet in a ball at the bottom of my closet right now. So like I said, I'm new to Chattanooga. I'm originally from New York, and I didn't know before I moved to Chat how religious it can be there. Like on Sundays you can't buy meth after 10. That's crazy. There's a coffee shop near where I live, and on the outside it says, a whole lot of coffee, a little bit of Jesus. How did Jesus get wrapped up with coffee? I mean, I've read the Bible, he was never caffeinated the whole time. It would make more sense if it were like a wine shop, right? That was formerly a water shop. That would make more sense. Has anybody here been to Chattanooga? Yeah. I love it there, but sometimes I feel like I'm living in a simulation. And one of the clues are the buildings around town. There's a building downtown with a big dome on it. It's called the Dome Building. And right near where I live, there's a girls' preparatory school. It's called Girls' Preparatory School. And recently I had to go to the city courthouse. It's called City Courthouse. It's like Chattanooga is still rendering. I think Chattanooga was smart. I think everyone there was like, you know what, let's not name shit till we see how history plays out. No one's coming to town to tear down the library. I'm from New York City where they've run out of people to name shit after. There's a street in New York City called People with AIDS Plaza. And I'm all for naming the street after people with AIDS. But not a plaza. That's too celebratory. It should be a cul-de-sac or a dead end of some sort. I had gay sex in the 80s in New York and I'm alive. Fuck you, I can take it. So something new that I didn't get to see here's something I never got to experience before I moved here. Southern pawn shops. What a treat. A lot of guns. And podcasting equipment. I can't believe you can walk out with either one without a background check. That feels wrong. With no examination of your mental history, you can walk out with a microphone and an hour on Spotify. I know there's like division about guns in the South or in America. You know, a lot of people, I guess you call it the left. There's no real left in this country. But if there's, but the left, they're like, oh, they're like, oh, the left's gonna come get our guns. Having been on the left, let me tell you, they're not gonna get anything. Nothing is gonna happen. Just savor the small victories if you're on the left. Like, you got straws. You got no more straws. No more plastic straws. We had to get rid of the plastic straws. Because the turtles were getting hurt. And the fish, they were eating the straws. Maybe don't make these straws so fucking delicious. You know? Make straws out of cilantro. That's what we should do. These fish will be like, this tastes like soap. I don't want this. This is terrible. Yeah. We're gonna keep the guns. We got rid of straws. Also, we can't have peanuts anymore near children in public. We got rid of peanuts. Keeping the guns. Got rid of the peanuts. Here's what I think you're gonna see soon. Soon you'll see like boxes of bullets with a label on the side that says, warning, these bullets were manufactured in a facility that also processes peanuts. That'll be the gun control that we get. And I think it's because the left doesn't focus. They're all over the place. You should take a page from the gays. The gays know about focusing. Marriage. That's all we wanted was marriage, 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 marriage. We didn't care about anything else, didn't care about straws, it was just marriage. And we got it. And after we were married to each other for a little while, we were like, I gotta get away from this person. Can I join the military? And then it was military. I'm confused why conservatives didn't want gays in the military. I would think you'd want us on the front lines. I mean, no guns, just glitter, get out there. When they said Mike Pence was starting the Space Force, I thought, for sure this will be the first branch of the military that only gays can enter. I mean, gays in space feels like a conservative wet dream. I mean, because in space, no one can hear you scream, "Yes, Queen!" I've been freelancing for a while, and I tried to get a full-time job recently. I don't recommend it. I was close, and the recruiter said they love you and they love your work, but they're trying to satisfy their diversity needs right now. I said, but I'm gay, doesn't that count? She said, not anymore. Congratulations. We did it! Gay white men are just as unhireable as straight white men. We did it! I remember my first job. My first job was McDonald's. I really wanted to work in radio, But then I got promoted to drive-through. And that was like radio for 14-year-old Jeff. I spoke and my voice came out somewhere else. That's all I cared about. Then I got a real job at a radio station in England, and I had to play American 50s and 60s music. But I had to talk like an American 50s and 60s DJ. 4 to 6 hours a day. So I was like, back in 1938, Elvis Presley had a #1 hit with Rock Around the Clock Tonight, or whatever the fuck I had to say. I'm the only American who came back from England with a worse American accent than the one he left with. But then I got to work in television after radio, and then I eventually got to work at Facebook. I got to work pretty closely with Mark Zuckerberg, and it was interesting. One day he said to me, "You have amazing solutions to problems I don't have." I said, "Did you just fire me via a riddle?" Here's what he said that to me about. I had worked for 3 months to create an opposite button for Facebook. So when you hit it, it would change your newsfeed to show you stories and articles your friends who had the least ideologically in common with were sharing. This was in like 2011. You could be friends with people you didn't agree with. And he said, "Why would you make this?" And I said, "Well, the data shows that people are moving into smaller circles of influence, getting their information from fewer places. This could become dangerous for society." Amazing solutions to problems he doesn't have. It's actually really intimidating being in a room with a genius, which is how I guess he must have felt when I presented ideas to him. I will say, before I go, having worked in social media, and I don't want to sound like the Unabomber, who had some good ideas. He wrote a manifesto about how we have to remove our reliance on technology, but I read his manifesto on a Kindle, so I don't know how things went for him. But I do think social media will be the death of us. But if you could follow me on Instagram, just go to thatguyimet.com. That's me. I'm Jeff Greenspan. Thank you very much. I'm going to try this. If you like the joke and you want to wear a joke around, I have these, let me see if I can turn it around. I've got these t-shirts that have bullets on them with a label on it that says, "Warning, these bullets were manufactured in a facility that also processes kids."